Three Amazon articles dealing with privacy. Article 1, Ring is sharing video with law enforcement with over 900 police partnerships. We're also going to show a quick video hack of the system. Article 2 is Congress is worried about the ethical sharing of data without the permission of the customer. Article 3 is law enforcement agency are requesting more warrants for Amazon data and information. This is going to be an Amazon day.
Amazon Ring privacy. It's the user's fault if a Ring camera violates your privacy, Amazon says. The company's answers to congressional questioning only earned it more questions. Amazon subsidiary Ring, which makes home surveillance equipment and cameras, has partnerships with more than law enforcement agencies nationwide, allowing those police access to users' footage. And while Ring says it sets terms around how and when it will share that footage with police, anything the police do with it afterward is entirely out of its hands, the company says. The partnerships between Ring and police, and the terms of the agreements, have not been transparent to the general public. Instead, they've come out in bits and pieces in media reports throughout the year. Senator Ed Markey, D-Mass, in September demanded clearer answers from Amazon about Ring and published the company's responses this week. Ring repeatedly deflects responsibility for the contents of captured footage to the consumers who capture it and the police departments that acquire it. Here is a video footage of hacker getting into a Ring system.
A move to keep their daughters safe backfires for one Tennessee couple. An Amazon Ring camera in their 8-year-old daughter's bedroom was hacked, and the voice behind it spoke to the little girl. Listen.
I'm Santa Claus. I'm Santa Claus. Don't you want to be my best friend?
That is terrifying. Joining me now, cybersecurity and privacy attorney Lisa Garber. Lisa, you say these devices are quite common, and they're easy to hack.
They are very easy to hack. So this video is terrifying. It really exemplifies a lot of the risks we face as consumers when we purchase into the Internet of Things, which is basically any device that works in connecting to the Internet. So it could be a camera like this, the Ring. It could be a smart refrigerator. It could be your Apple Watch. Any device that's connected to the Internet, and anything
even
connected
a laptop
to the Internet
computer.
can be
Sometimes
hacked.
people will put, Post-its over the camera because they're worried about that.
Exactly.
Also, a lot of news as of late, especially going into the holiday season with Alexa and Echo and all of these devices, especially when it comes to the safety of children and their privacy as well. We have all these devices. We're walking around with smartphones that I'm convinced are listening to what we're doing and saying. And you've got all these devices. You're adding that into your home. We were talking about it during the break, and you said we're probably going to get to a point where you can't operate, unfortunately, without these devices, even if you wanted to abstain.
Right. There are a couple of problems inherent in this complicated situation, which is one, the debate between security and convenience, because a lot of these devices make our lives easier. You can order things easily. You can communicate more easily with all of these different cameras. But there's also a security problem. And that problem is that regulation lags far behind technological development. So it may reach a tipping point where we need some of these devices just to function in modern day society. But for now, I am definitely not putting one of these cameras on my holiday list. I think the security regulation isn't there.
Yeah.
Big tech is really fighting back in terms of regulating. I will say, while there is no federal standard, California has a new law that goes into effect next month that really puts into place some other stricter measurements in terms of trying to define what standards they have to live up to.
You and I are on the same page in terms of the security, but I think there are so many Americans out there that just feel like, listen, my security is breached. Why shouldn't I have the convenience of these things?
It's true, but the question really goes back to you still can have that privacy, and you can still make sure that your children are safe even though you're using these devices. And yeah, you can have this camera in their bedroom to make sure they're okay, they're sleeping okay, but there are some measures you can put into place right now, and that is changing the password on these devices. A lot of them come with a default password, and consumers aren't told that they have to change it. You need to change it to try to do your best to prevent hacking. Turn on dual-factor authentication if you can, and then really make sure that you're checking in, changing your password, things like that.
Lisa, great to see you. Thank you so
you.
much. No doubt in 2020, this kind of regulation of big tech is going to be on the docket. Great to see you today.
Thank you.
Amazon in the last week of August agreed to share publicly a list of where it has police partnerships. At that time, there were 405 such agreements. As of November 15th, however, that map now now boasts 630 police partnerships, a greater than 50% increase. Customers who buy Ring systems for their homes can connect to an app called Neighbors. Police who work in partnerships with Ring have a companion app to Neighbors that allows them to request footage from users in a given geographic area when it's pertinent to an investigation. What police do after that, however, is a mystery in which Ring says it has no part. Ring does not require law enforcement to delete materials shared through a video request after a certain period of time, the company said. Law enforcement departments set their own terms for record retention in accordance with the laws of their jurisdiction and can keep it as long as they see fit. Amazon and Ring also do not have any minimum security requirements for the use of user footage. Partners use their own requirements, protocols, and security measures for protecting any Ring data they acquire. And they can share it with whomever they like. If videos are downloaded by law enforcement, Ring does not require police departments to agree to additional restrictions, the company said, citing potential public records law and police investigative procedures. Ring is constantly seeking ways to maximize transparency and user control, including adding additional information on how video footage may be used when a customer consents, the company added. Volunteer data and privacy. Amazon has repeatedly said throughout the year that Ring users must volunteer to share their footage in response to a police request. In August, the company told ours that participating law enforcement agencies must go through Ring to request footage, adding, customers can choose to opt out or decline any request, and law enforcement agencies have no visibility into which customers have received a request and which have opted out or declined. The minimum region for requesting footage is 0.025 square miles, Ring told Senator Markey, in order to prevent police from targeting specific individuals. The maximum region is 0.5 square miles, in order to prevent broad blanketing. The maximum time frame of data police can ask for is 12 hours, and they can only get footage less than 45 days old. In some neighborhoods, housing may be dense enough to effectively mask the identity of someone in a radius of a few blocks. But in lower density neighborhoods zoned for single-family homes, it could be trivial for police to figure out which residence in a 0.025 square mile radius is using a camera, regardless of if it shares footage willingly, and which residents they may wish to talk to. All that said, however, Ring said it believes that state and federal procedures, regulations, and statutes serve to ensure that police departments do not open investigations or seek information for improper purposes. Respecting users' and non-users' privacy is also the camera owner's problem, Amazon said. Ring's terms of service state that users are responsible for their use of our products and services, including use in accordance with any applicable privacy laws, the company said in response to a question about cameras pointed at public space such as municipal sidewalks that aren't part of a homeowner's property. Ring includes a door/window sticker in the box with each device that is equipped with audio-visual recording capabilities so that homeowners can prominently notify anyone in the neighborhood that they may be recorded, Amazon added. It has no oversight or compliance program in place for owners, however. Amazon Ring's policies are an open door for privacy and civil liberty violations, Markey said in a statement following Amazon's response. If you're an adult walking your dog or a child playing on the sidewalk, you shouldn't have to worry that Ring's products are amassing footage of you and that law enforcement may hold that footage indefinitely or share that footage with any third parties. Especially the kids. Ring's privacy policy says it does not knowingly collect personal information from anyone under the age of 13. But the cameras, of course, collect footage of whoever happens to be nearby. Ring has no way to know or verify that a child has come within range of a device, Amazon wrote. Customers own and control their video recordings. And yet Ring itself seems to have no compunction about showing children under 13 in footage if it's good for their marketing. For example, 15.8 million Ring doorbells rang in the 24 hours of Halloween, the company said in a blog post. The company shared some harmless data about all those trick-or-treaters. Peak time on the East Coast was around 6:30 p.m., while West Coast kids peaked about 20 minutes later, apparently. But the company also released a promotional video using captured Halloween footage, including several very clear images of children both with and without their parents present. Website Mashable asked Ring whether parents consented to their children's appearance in the advertisement video, but the company did not respond. Ring's terms of service allow for it, BuzzFeed pointed out earlier this year. You hereby grant Ring and its licensees an unlimited, irrevocable, fully paid, and royalty-free, perpetual, worldwide right to reuse, distribute, store, delete, translate, copy, modify, display, sell, create derivative works from and otherwise exploit such shared content for any purpose and in any media formats in any media channels without compensation to you. All your face or belong to us. Markey also pressed Ring several times about the use of facial recognition technology. The company responded that it does not use any facial recognition yet but may do so in the future. A sentence in its privacy policy to the effect that Ring may obtain certain facial feature information about the visitors you ask your Ring product to recognize refers to a contemplated, but unreleased feature, the company said. If our customers want these features in Ring security cameras, it added, we will only release these features with thoughtful design including privacy, security, and user control, and we will clearly communicate with our customers as we offer new features. What Ring users choose, however, affects not just homeowners who buy the systems but also anyone who gets close enough to their house for any reason. Connected doorbells are well on their way to becoming a mainstay of American households, and the lack of privacy and civil rights protections for innocent residents is nothing short of chilling, Markey said in his statement, a sentiment echoed by civil liberties organizations and advocates. Through consumer products like Ring, Amazon is collecting footage and all the data needed to build a nationwide surveillance network, Fight for the Future Deputy Director Evan Greer said in a statement.
Word of a growing partnership between police and the popular doorbell company Ring is raising privacy concerns nationwide. Amazon-owned Ring sells low-cost home security systems. Ring said yesterday more than 400 law enforcement agencies use its Neighborhood Watch program. That gives police potential access to customers' videos. Jamie Yukas shows us how guarding your home could compromise your privacy.
Somebody's there and they're breaking into my house.
Ring's home surveillance cameras have captured crooks in the act.
Hey, man, don't do it.
Everything from home break-ins to stolen packages.
You can stay informed with alerts from your community.
Ring also offers the Neighbors app, which lets customers know when and where a crime happens in their area. It works in conjunction with the so-called Neighbors portal, now used by some 400 law enforcement agencies, to request customer video that might help their investigations. Ring CEO Jamie Siminoff.
My goal would be to have every law enforcement agency on the police portal. It helps all communities come together to make things safer.
We're going to see a growing sense of people sort of becoming kind of informants on our neighbors and our neighborhoods.
Andrew Ferguson is author of The Rise of Big Data Policing.
There's obviously going to be potential problems with who gets targeted in those neighborhood apps, and that can be very troubling because what can happen, of course, is that there could be a police response, and that could impact someone's liberty, someone's lives.
Ring says its customers have complete control over their videos and can choose to give consent to a law enforcement request for access.
The Ring customer will see a request come up. They can either accept the request or they can opt out of that request and all future requests, and the police will never see if they have done that.
But privacy advocates worry that customers might not always have the final say.
Yes, we have a choice sometimes, but it's very easy for police to get a search warrant for that same footage if they believe a crime has occurred.
I can tell you we'll always follow the laws, but we will always fight for our customers' rights, their control, and their privacy.
You know we got security cameras.
For CBS This Morning, Jamie Yukas, Los Angeles.